Hello guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sol, and for those of you who do, welcome back. Today I'm joined by the one and only...
Oh, is that my cue? Hey guys, my name's Sepii. I'm Sol's younger, much cooler and better sister.
Then Sana. Don't like
Just
Sana. Sana's not
just
here.
better than both of you. Just kidding.
The look of disgust on my face.
I actually don't know what we're doing today. She's literally taken a picture of something on my phone and she's like, we're answering something.
Okay, so guys, today we're going to do a dating question and answer. So these are stuff that people have sent me on Instagram over the past couple of months, just generally asking me
For like dating advice.
For dating advice. So I thought today was...
To be fair, I get asked a lot of dating advice.
Do you?
Yeah, and I give such good advice, and then my friends, like in real life, when I see them after I've posted stuff on my story, turn around, they're like, "Yo, why is this single chick hanging out?" And relationship advice. I'm like, calm down. I know about relationships, so you know.
Okay, my lady. First question: where do I go to meet someone?
Okay. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
I think it's so much easier and harder simultaneously in this day and age to meet someone. I remember when I was younger, in college, in university, you'd meet people at place of work, but now everyone's so busy and so involved in their own little bubble, so it's really hard. And then with this generation of dating apps, even though it's easier to meet people, people are also very disposable. You've got a catalogue of people that you could choose from. Okay, this one's not replied in an hour, next one. No, this one's not replied for 2 days, don't like this, next one.
Yeah, so I think the reason why, let's say, it's harder to date someone now than before social media and dating apps is because people, I think, have less confidence in real life. So they have more confidence behind a screen. And second of all, what was the second point I wanted to make? So they have less confidence in real life, and also where they have the backup of meeting people online, they make less of an effort in real life. So like
that's true.
Yeah, so I feel like if you know you're gonna meet people like online, like you can slide into their DMs, you can match with them on Tinder or Hinge or whatever, then you're not really that compelled. I think the reason why people who meet in real life often more meet in situations like clubs or bars, etc., is because alcohol gives them that Dutch courage that before you kind of
lacked.
Yeah, that you lacked. Whereas like before, where like there was no other kind of backup to meeting people and talking to people, you either took your shot, or risked never seeing that person again. Now it's kind of like, oh, I'll just go and see where they are, like on the location, and like follow them on the Insta and slide in the DMs or something, which can happen quite often. So that doesn't answer the question.
No,
though.
I think to meet someone, you have to see first of all what are your interests. So if you've got common interests with someone, if you like working out, you're more likely to meet someone at the gym. I like yoga, maybe I'm more likely to meet someone like-minded at my yoga session.
It's like your hobbies, you go shisha, you go go-karting, you do whatever. So you can meet someone there, you can meet someone at your place of work or university. And also, like, don't be afraid to like approach people, whether you're the girl or the guy. Like, you don't have to approach people like with intentions of going on a date, just like being chatty and talking to people, getting to know them, because you know you want to have an impression of them before you go on a date. I remember
someone asked me for just a glass of coconut water after a yoga session a few years back. It could literally be anything.
Yeah.
Worst case, they say no.
Yeah, like as in, honestly, I remember when I was younger, I used to like fear rejection so much, but then as I got older, I realised that actually, so what if the person doesn't like you? Like, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, and there'll be plenty of people who like you, so it's fine. But yeah, I think I agree with Sol. I also feel like there's a lot of dating apps. I think be careful. I've heard Hinge is really good. I've never ever been on a dating app, so I can't really come from a place of experience. But I do feel like a lot of people I'm meeting now who are like getting married or like, you know, been in serious relationships for ages have been on have met through dating apps. So don't run away from them, but be careful of the ones who like have a what's it called, like a stereotype for like knowing to be like abused by the wrong type of people, like Tinder people just looking for fun, etc.
I've heard good things about Bumble. I know a few of the dentists and a few nurses at my workplace who've met their lifelong partners now through Bumble.
And Hinge, I've heard.
Yeah, Hinge is another one. Okay, so second question, the one that I usually get people asking me. My type isn't good for me, what shall I do? It sounds easy, doesn't it? The answer to it sounds easy, change your type. But if you're not attracted to a different type, then it's not going to work. I think the reason most of us have a type is if we go back in time to the first person that we liked that was this type, maybe that person was the one that got away, that somehow let us down, that dented our ego. Things didn't finish properly the way you should have. So if we go back to that person, not physically go back to that person, but work our way back mentally to that person and finish in our mind with that person and let anything that needs to rest, then you can move on from your type. My type is anyone who treats me with respect, who is kind. You know, that could be your type. Who's funny, attractive.
You used to have a huge physical type.
Yeah, I did.
Like Sol used to be quite big on like a physical type. Like, she'd want someone really tall. No
yeah,
offense,
minimum
5'1".
Yeah.
You're 5'1.5". Like I don't know what was with the really tall thing. I've never had a physical type. I have such a like type of certain personality. I feel like if I click with someone, that is it. Like I've got you in my head, that's it. Like I can't get you out my head. But it's really hard for me to find someone who is that type. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that person's like good or bad. Like I think in your type, there could be good people and bad people. So if your type is like a physical thing, there could be good and bad in those people. So look for like someone who's trustworthy, look for someone who treats you with respect, and look for someone who's loyal to the people around them. Because if they're loyal to the people around them, like their friends, their family, they don't just come running to you bitching about their friends or their family, then it shows that they're loyal. They're not going to do that.
That's
to
it.
you.
You said something really interesting when you were much younger. Something about what Sally says about
What Susie says about Sally says a lot more about Susie than it does about Sally.
Which I like. Okay, so I think Sepii just answered question 3, which is, I don't know what I'm looking for, but I want a partner.
I don't think I answered that.
You said you should be looking for these things.
Okay, so you should be looking for those things, but I think if you want to find a partner, like you genuinely want to find a partner, then you're going to need to sit down for a moment with yourself and decide what it is you're looking for, because you're not going to find them. Because if you don't, like for example, you know when you're hungry and you could go around a food court and you don't know what you fancy, you could go around a food court and everything you see you're like, I'm not sure.
You won't be satisfied.
You won't be satisfied with whatever you end up sitting down eating either. So if you don't know what you want, then it's either because you haven't experienced enough of the world. Maybe you need to like casually like get to know a few different people, like whether it's just like as friends or like just, you know, they go on like a first date, like a few first dates, you know, with different types of people and see, oh, I like this about that person, that about that person, and then you'll come together in your mind of what it is you want for the rest of your life or for a future partner and make your decision off the back of that.
I like that answer. I read in The Secret, so as you guys know, we are great believers
in the law of attraction,
positive thinking and manifestation. In The Secret, in regards to manifesting a partner, they say that so if someone sleeps on a double bed, instead of sleeping right bang in the middle of the bed, they should move to just one side of the bed as to welcome a partner into the bedroom. In terms of their living spaces, so their cupboard, they should make a little room in their cupboard or maybe a drawer, empty it out for a partner.
Or even like think about
car park, they mentioned it as well.
I think those are a bit like much. I think, for example, if you have a boyfriend and let's say when you have a boyfriend you make more effort, you buy yourself nicer underwear, and then you stop doing that when you're single. Go back to making that effort of like buying yourself nice underwear, this and that. Like
wax your legs.
Wax your legs or whatever. Shave your underarms.
Men, get your hair trimmed.
Yeah, men, get your hair trimmed.
Have a shave.
Yeah, so treat yourself as you would if you're in a relationship, if that makes sense.
Okay, 4th question. Do I kiss on a first date? I think it totally depends on you. I
Can I be
personally
honest?
think...
I'll be honest, I've never kissed someone on the first date.
Oh, my hand. Sorry, I was resting.
Like, as in, if the person has literally asked you out on a date, like you've been getting to know each other, whatever, and he's asked you out on a date and he's taken you out, I've never kissed them on the first date. And that's because I feel like, A, you want to kind of leave something for like the next few dates, like some sort of like anticipation for it. And 2, this is something that Sina actually taught me, is let's say you go on like 2 or 3 dates and you realise you don't actually like that person, and then like in the future when you see them, like this way, like nothing's ever actually happened to you between you guys, you've literally just been for dinner, so he can't really have dibs on you, or she can't really have dibs on you in regards to everyone else around you. Like if you're sitting in, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect
but
sense.
But they can't be like, oh yeah, you know, like we went on a date, we got with each other, da da da. Then like if his friends like you in the future, or you like one of his friends, or even like an acquaintance or whatever, there's no oddness about it. Like there's no like, oh, that's kind of sticky, like they've kissed, this, that. So yeah, I think that's one thing. The second thing is holding onto some sort of mystery, and you know, having something. Obviously, if you're really in the moment, you really like each other, you just know that person's the one, then sure. But I think if you can, then try and stop yourself.
The old saying is, now this doesn't necessarily go for kissing, maybe something a little more serious, is why buy the cow if you're going to get the milk for free? Bit disrespectful, but you get the drift.
Yeah, so that's Sol's answering in regards to something a bit more explicit.
Okay, so number 5. Even though my first dates are great and they seem to have a great time, they don't call me for a second. So a second date, I'm assuming. Their loss. That's a blessing for you. It wasn't meant to be. If the first date had gone well, you believe it was well, you think that they had a good time, then maybe they weren't in the right mind to have a second date or to have more with you.
Can I tell you guys something? Like, I've had it where like you click with someone really well, and then like they step back and like, what, we clicked so well. And then in the future I've had it where they come back and be like, well, I just didn't feel like I could give you everything that you wanted, or I could be the kind of guy that I thought that you would want.
I think these are all excuses.
No, really I'm not saying that, but sometimes maybe guys do feel like they're not good enough for you.
Sepii,
you think that they're...
I think these are excuses. I've had it where months later they've called and they've said, oh, it's because I liked you so much. You liked me so much so you didn't call me for a second date. Really?
No, but I mean, like, I don't...
No.
I just feel like sometimes maybe guys can feel like they're not necessarily that you're too good for them, but that they can't give you what you want because they're not willing to give up what they're up to right now.
There's something very liberating about knowing that someone's just not that into you. They're not that into you. I'm not attracted to someone that's not that into me. Goodbye. Someone else will come along that'll be perfect. You don't call someone for a second date, you're not worthy of a second date.
True.
End of.
Number 6, can I date my ex's friend? It's a sticky one because you have to think, what if your ex dated your friend?
Yeah, that's true. What does that say about their friend?
But also, how long have you been broken up for?
How long did you date for?
How long did you date for? And
how much of a good friend is this friend? Well, obviously not that good friend.
Like, as in, are they really close friends? Are they BFFs? Because that's just, I don't know, that's just a lot. Whereas if they're like kind of like drifted apart, like they used to be friends, how often did you guys hang out with them as like a couple and the friend? I don't know. I think it's so difficult. Thing is I feel like when it comes to can I date my ex's friend? Yeah.
Physically, yeah, you can. But is it right
No,
morally?
but I mean, like, can I date my ex's friend? I'd be more like, I'd be on the fence, but I'd be more on the yeah, maybe side. Whereas if it would be like, can I date my friend's ex? I'd definitely be on the no way side. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I feel like you have more loyalty then by that sentence to your friend than your... Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
As in, I wouldn't want to do something to make my ex-boyfriend unhappy as well.
That's true. Because
like, you have a lot of love and respect for them.
Yeah.
If you didn't love or respect him, like
you wouldn't have dated them.
Her, they were a waste man, waste girl, whatever, then yeah, just do your thing, don't care about it. But like, no, come on, if you like, if the person was horrible to you, you really like...
Yeah, but when a dog bites you, you don't bite it back.
Yeah, but what if...
Just do something that yourself in the future would not... Yeah.
Okay. 7. Does playing hard to get work? I think everyone's playing a game, and if you don't play, you're gonna miss out.
Unfortunately, yeah.
As in, like, I would love...
I wish that there was no games.
My friend Celia got me to read this book 2 weeks ago called Why Men Love Bitches, and it's sick. Wait, let me check who the author is. But basically, everything you're saying the nice girl versus a bitch, and when it says a bitch, it doesn't mean like, like some horrible evil person. A bitch is a woman who stands up for herself. She doesn't, like, she won't... So a nice girl will be like, oh, I don't want to play any games, like, oh, I'll keep my calendar free for like when he's suitable and around, whereas like a bitch will be like, these days work for me. You know, you won't leave your whole calendar free for him.
An independent woman.
If he doesn't call you, you're not like on the edge of the phone like texting like, oh my god, like when are you gonna call me? You do your own thing, and you keep busy with your own time, and you don't make him the center of your world. And I feel like sometimes, a lot of the times, when you, as a girl, when you catch feelings for someone, you start doing those things without realizing.
But even a guy does it. I've seen men do it too. Both sexes are guilty of that.
But I feel like playing games isn't like, oh, you have to play games. I think you just have to stay reserved. Don't give that person all of you straight away.
So don't kiss on the first date, going back to the previous question.
Don't give a person all of you. And when we hand out advice, this is not to say that we have done everything of our advice to a T at all. If anything, like a lot of the times when I talk to my friends and like we're giving each other advice, a lot of times we're going off of the mistakes that we've made. And we're like, oh, I'm not going to do this again. Make sure you don't do this. Or remind me never to do this again, you know? Never going to call you again. Never going to answer your calls again. I'm going to block you. You know, like all of these things. Like you make a list of stuff. So don't feel like we are perfect in dating world and we play the game. I'm single, guys. You know, if I was so good at playing the game, maybe I would have been in the game. Wait, we're really like demoting our video here because we're like, oh! Like, you know, we're out here telling you to take dating advice from us, you know. No ring on it. No, I'm joking though. I'm joking. I feel like, to be honest, yeah, you gotta play the game. You gotta have like, and also I think it's not about playing the game, you gotta be your own person. I feel like whenever I'm doing me, like I swear.
You're happier.
When I'm like going to the gym, when I'm on my study game, I'm on my YouTube game, I'm doing my fashion blogging on Instagram, all this, swear, all the guys want a piece of this cake. You know,
I want Sepii,
Sepii, haven't seen you in ages. Random FaceTimes, random texts. Want to see you? Let's hang out.
I'm sorry, but I call them late Satans, like the little Satans that creep up.
It's not even just Satans, but it's just like, you know, like when people see you're doing well, they want that for themselves, or they want that in their life. So just do you, be independent, be doing your own thing, and you'll find someone that way. Next question. 8. Who pays for the first date?
I'm sorry if this goes against modern day feminism, and if it goes against independent women and promoting that. I think the guy should pay on the first date. I really do.
I have a saying. I will offer to pay on the first date.
Yes.
Strongly, because I'm a feminist. But I'll let the guy pay on the first date because I'm an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur.
No, I'm joking.
Romantic.
But I am a romantic, and one thing I love is
chivalry.
Yeah, I think it's so nice when a guy knows he doesn't have to take care of you, but he wants to, because like at the end of the day, like when it goes back to basic like human like principle, if you think about it. the man is like the caretaker of the woman in the family. And I feel like, you know, there is going to be a point in your life where you're going to have to go off like maternity leave or whatever, you want to have kids with this person. They're going to need to take care of you and baby. So these are just little minor things that show that they can do that. And I think, that's why I think it's important.
I agree.
And if they don't want to pay for the first date, like, you don't have to take me somewhere expensive at
No.
all. But if you don't want to pay for the first date, it shows you're not really serious about me. So, like, you're just like, do I really want to spend X amount on
I just don't think
it's
it's
really,
not
it's just
pretty.
really off-putting, yeah.
Men should be gentlemen and women should be
And if a
ladies.
guy ever offered to split the bill with me, I'd just pay for it myself. Like, I'd pay the full bill. Because
I'd be really embarrassed.
don't get me wrong, with friends and guy friends or whatever, like friendship level, 100% split the bill with me whenever, whatever, cool. On a date, I'd never ever split the bill. Nah, I'll pay for you, honey.
You sound like such a...
I don't care if I sound like a diva, I just feel like, nah, that's not for me. But then...
You sound like the bitch you were describing.
Yeah.
Not that I'm calling you a bitch. And
It's
independent
alright,
woman.
if we're talking about that kind of bitch, I'll happily be her.
Where do we go on a first date? Ask me out and I'll let you know.
I'm such a believer that on the first date the guy should pick, and that's because I want to see where he thinks I deserve to be taken and also what type of places he likes to go. Could be somewhere like really casual, could be like his favourite restaurant, and like it literally could be like his favourite little Indian spot like down the road and like everyone like knows him there or whatever, or it could be like somewhere really fancy schmancy. So yeah, I just like to see like where the guy wants to take me and like where they like to hang out.
I read somewhere that if you were to go to the cinema first and then go for a meal afterwards, watching a movie will provide some icebreakers and some topics of conversation for the meal afterwards. But I've never tried it. But
I feel like if you're worried about not having something to talk about with this person, you shouldn't go on the date.
But sometimes you can get nervous, you know. Oh my god, so my opposite neighbour when I was in Latvia was this really cute guy, and he had this dog, and whenever I'd see him I used to get nervous. So this one day I must have bought a brand new jacket. The dog jumped on me and got poop, like literally poop on my jacket, and he was really apologetic, and I was like, don't worry, I like shit.
You did not say that.
And he must have said he was Finnish, and he must have said to my Finnish classmate, yeah, Sol's really pretty and really hot, but she's really strange.
I don't blame him.
That's it.
Why did you
But another time his dog headbutted me in the genitals. And I was like,
his dog sounds like he had a bit of ADHD or something.
So my response to that was, oh, don't worry, I'm used to that.
Guys.
So we can all get nervous.
Oh.
Okay, number 10. How do I tell them I want something serious without scaring them off? So do you want to answer this first, or shall I?
I think you shouldn't say you want something serious up front, because like you can't tell a stranger, like they're basically a stranger in your life, oh, I want something serious with you, because you don't even know. This person could be really weird, they could be your soulmate, like you don't know anything about them. So yeah, you're a serious person, and you can say in general, I'm a serious person, and I don't pursue something if I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But you don't have to say this is something serious between us, because you don't know that yourself until you've been dating for a while and gotten to know this person for a while. So like, yeah, I think that's the best way forward, to explain that you're a serious person and you only pursue things that are serious, but don't talk about this being serious, because that will freak them out.
Marry me.
Is this the right hand? I don't even know.
I don't even know. Alright guys, so that brings us to, we've got one more actually. What pet names do you like? We'll leave that for a later time, I think.
What pet names?
No, don't answer it. We're keeping them interested. Watch in a couple of weeks' time.
To find out what pet names we like.
That's it.
Just tune back in to find out our favourite pet names. That's what we say to guys on the first date. What pet names do you like?
Oh, ask me for a second and I'll let you know. Bring your dog along.
He might just whack me in the genitals with their head. Oh God! Don't let the Finnish guy bring his dog.
Oh God. Okay, alright guys, thank you for watching. I've had an amazing time with you, Sepii.
I've
Thank you
had so much
ever
fun
so much.
with you, and don't forget to check out Sil's socials. They are always linked down below.
They are, and Sepii's, the wonderful, the one and only Persian bunny.
Thanks, all.
You're very welcome.
Thank you guys so much. See you next time.
Bye. Oh, guys, don't forget to like below
And subscribe.